Hi everyone, welcome back. Arc Trading here. Just gonna dive into it today. So with NQ, couple things. First of all, beautiful choppy morning, but it's okay. Kind of expected from this move throughout the London session right here. Okay, I expected it was gonna range, but didn't expect that much choppiness. But kind of going to go over the trade that I took. So generally, I only trade off the 5 minutes, a 5 minute chart. Based on the overall daily bias, I expected it was going to bounce just to show it off ES first as well. So main thing I was looking at on ES is we did have this daily chart. We did have the daily volume imbalance right here, which I figured off the open it was pretty much going to dive into. We do have a daily fair value gap. It did get close, but did not quite hit it. It was off by about three quarter ticks, 3/4 of a handle basically. But what interestingly, what caught my eye was on NQ. So we did have a lower low, lower high, lower low, and then higher high, which signifies a break of structure. ES did not have that. Just to show you the ES chart on the 5 minute chart. So ES right here technically put equal lows. To me, that is not a break of structure right here. Okay. If it did dive into this fair value gap, then I would be more open into taking it long. But it did not, so I did not actually take a long on ES over here. On NQ, there was this break of structure. Now, a fair value gap did not open up, but we do have that inverted fair value gap. So typically when a bearish fair value gap gets inverted, you have the 5 minute candle goes above it, closes above it. Generally, it's going to hold it as, I know some people don't like to say support, our fellow ICT guys, but it's going to hold it as support. So I saw that as the only opportunity. I did go half size on this. So I got in at 15,221 with the risk off 15,250. Off the bat, I know it's a little hard to see it here. It did hit first target at 15,233.5. So I took half off. I only did 4 micros on both accounts. I took 2 off, 2 contracts right here, and then set the rest break even. So within a minute, it just went down. Luckily, it was break even, so it was a positive trade. I was aiming for this 15,246 and a quarter, which would be about 25 points up or 100 ticks. So like I said, typically I go for 50 to 100 ticks, risking off 50 ticks right here. Just so execution right here. So got in at 15,221. Half of it was taken off, then break even on the rest. Now on ES, there was a trade I was hoping to get in, but unfortunately never hit my entry. Was when ES came down and did this lower low right here. So it grabbed liquidity, and then there was this big displacement candle, and then another one. So technically right here would be the break of structure on the 5 minute. Okay. Now, generally, I don't like to enter a trade when the swing high is broken at the same time, because the probability of it going higher decreases, even though we do have room until like 44.64, I would say, which kind of looks like it's heading there now, but we'll see. Generally, what I was looking for is there's 2 fair value gaps. One right here, which is technically in the discount, and then one right here, which was in premium. And how I decide on that, I'll take the fib, plot it from the lowest point to the highest point of that move, which signifies that right here, 44.44 would be the discount. I generally don't like taking the premium fair value gap. My entry, what I was looking for was right here. It says 44.42.5. that's where my entry was to go long on ES. Okay, so kind of came down, never actually even went into the fair value gap, and then just worked itself up right there. So if you did get in on this fair value gap, probably was going to be a green trade or at least a break even. Now, reason why I would take the 50% C of this fair value gap is if a fair value gap is, let's say right here, 44.45 to 44.39.75. So that's over already 5 handles, 5.25 handles. Generally, I only risk 5 handles. So if the fair value gap itself is 5 handles or more than 3 handles, I will go for the entry on the 50% C of that fair value gap, and that risk will be somewhere right here. So if it was 44.42, my risk would probably be like 44.38.5. Okay. So first thing I always do before I do any trades is check the news, see if there's any data coming out. So at 8:30 we had initial jobless claims. We do have a lot of speakers. Not to use that as an excuse for the interesting action today. It wasn't that bad, but just entries weren't too clear. But as traders, you're going to take what the market gives you. All in all, decent day. I'll take it. It was another base hit. And other than that, that will be it. I'll probably catch you guys tomorrow. Once again, thank you. Subscribe, like,